to commend the president yesterday. He did the right thing. He explained that we can't stay in a shutdown forever, that obviously the mortality rate, frankly, is even lower than the average virus. I'm not trying to downplay this crisis, but the president calmed the nation, and the stock market, at least for today, is coming back. We have to be rational. We cannot bankrupt this country with ridiculous bailouts, and that's what we're doing. The Democrats love that, you see, because they understand that once all this money starts flowing into people's pockets for free, there'll be a lot of fraud, there'll be a lot of graft. We'll turn this country into a socialist, communist state, and it will be very hard to return. Thank God they can't come up with an agreement in the U.S. Senate. And you can see the duplicity and the deceit of not just Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat Party. They're using this as an opportunity to have a grab bag to raid the Treasury and to destroy the nation. So the president did the right thing. Now, what we need to do in terms of paying for the damage, as I've been saying and as I've been doing, is our class action lawsuit against China. China and the Chinese people are good people, but the Chinese government is evil. The Chinese government lies. They claim there are no new fatalities, hardly at all. Now, if you believe that, you believe in the tooth fairy. Tooth fairy is actually more credible. And consequently, we need to hold China accountable. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. We've already got nearly 500 plaintiffs in this case. It's going to go up into the thousands, if not the tens of thousands, if not the hundreds of thousands. I'm enlisting a team of lawyers throughout the United States and internationally to bring this suit. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up as a possible plaintiff. Contribute to our cause. Let China pay for this massive damage. Over $20 trillion they should have to pay. That's what we've asked for. Class action lawsuit filed in the Northern District of Texas. That's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And supported with tax-deductible contributions at freedomwatchusa.org. Now, what's really interesting is I'm getting emails from all over the world, primarily from India. There was an article that appeared in the Indian media, in the press yesterday, from Indian lawyers. India, not Pocahontas, okay? And they want to join this lawsuit, or they want to bring a lawsuit in India. I also got recently an email, just in the last few hours, from Nigeria, if you can believe that. Now, the Indians and the Chinese really dislike each other. They hate each other, okay? They're rivals. We made a mistake years ago, this country, in not getting closer to India and, in fact, subsidizing China with all the technology and all the infrastructure investment that we made. The Indians, number one, their language is English as well as Indian. And they're much more hardworking. They're much more reliable. And they are a buffer, not just to China, but they're a buffer to Pakistan and the Muslim world. Now, Indians are our friends. You see many Indians in American life, in enterprise. They're very enterprising people. So my thought is that we'll also bring a class action lawsuit in India. And you can imagine in an Indian court, the Chinese will pay dearly. And we'll bring it in other countries as well. Let's bring the Chinese government to its knees. Let's reduce it to what it needs to be reduced to, economic ash, because they are destroying the world and they're not being held accountable. And that's the one criticism I have of the president. He's been too nice to China. I would like our Justice Department to join us in this class action lawsuit. Of course it won't, with our worthless Attorney General Bill Barr. And consequently, we, the American people, need to do it for ourselves. And that's why you need to go to freedomwatchusa.org, support our class action filed in Texas, a very good venue, and also sign up as possible plaintiffs to be added. Now, most likely you will be added to it because everybody's been damaged in one manner, shape, or form, whether it's health-wise, economically, or with regard to emotional distress. And talking about emotional distress, I've got to say, the cable networks are absolute whores, and I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking not just about MSNBC, CNN, but I'm also talking about Fox. Look at the chyron that they continue to have on the screen, minute by minute, second by second, showing people dying in this country. Their commentators, on all of them, are smiling. They have no problem. They're protected. They're isolated. And they're making money hand over fist. They have whipped up this panic, and they are largely responsible for the crash of the stock market, and they're not being held accountable. So it's time, fellow supporters and patriots, to hold them all accountable. They're all a bunch of whores, every single one of them, whether it's CNN, MSNBC, or Fox. They're in it for themselves. They're not in it for the American people. They know what their market is, so they play that market. And the advertising dollars are flowing like cheap wine. So we're going to be holding them accountable as well. And I might add, we're holding the intelligence agencies accountable. Yesterday, I filed a new lawsuit against the NSA, CIA, Director of National Intelligence, Defense Intelligence Agency, and the State Department, because they have known, undoubtedly, with this mass surveillance of what went on in China. They didn't inform the president in all likelihood. They wanted to take him down. They put him in a weak position. They tried before with the Steele dossier, phony warrants, and everything else, and I'm including the FBI in that, and they need to be held accountable. We've got a big job to do here, and I need your help. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. You are our loyal supporters. You are the American people. We don't roll over. We don't sit on the couch. We don't drink Diet Coke and eat popcorn. We get up and we act, just like our founding fathers. Because if we don't act, we're not going to have a country. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Contribute to our cause. Sign up for our free newsletters. Become part of our Justice League. You are the superheroes. Share this podcast. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, on Spotify, on iTunes, on Roku, on Patreon, everywhere. Share it. This is the truth, guys and gals. This is the hard facts of life. We live in a world today, and that was my first book, Whores, Why and How I Came to Fight the Establishment, filled with whores. I'm not talking about ones that line Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm talking about the political whores, the media whores, and other whores, foreign nations like the communist Chinese. We need to fight. We need to stand and fight. Man the barricades, because we're coming for you. Thank you for listening to me. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. God bless America, and God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Thank you for listening to me.